So there is a difference between a referral and an introduction. And I'm going to leave it to the two of you to give some examples and some breakdowns on why these are different.
Yeah, well, I'll start because I know John has really strong feelings about this and you're going to want to hear them. But
no,
so
I'm not very opinionated.
let me get my 2 cents out, and then John, I know you're going to have some stuff to say. So you got it. First and foremost, I think it never ceases to amaze me that people get an introduction and a referral confused. So you right off the bat, draw a line, separate them into 2 different buckets because they are 2 different things. An introduction can sometimes get a foot in the door with somebody that maybe you're connected to on LinkedIn or some other community. That is an introduction. That is, hey, Joe, meet Meg. There we go. A referral is a whole different ballgame. A referral is from somebody that you have done business with. A referral is somebody that can speak for you, that knows your work, that has gone through a sales process with you, has gone through the buying process with you, and is willing to get up on their own 2 feet and say, I can recommend this product and service. I want to tell you about it, colleague over here. Let me now introduce you to so-and-so. That's a different bucket. So right off the bat, 2 very different things. John has a lot of feelings, I know, on when to introduce and when not to introduce and all that good stuff. So John, you go for it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I learned this early days. There's a group, and I recommend a lot of people check it out. It's business. I don't even actually, it's got to still be around. It's called Business Networking International, BNI. And what it is a networking group, and every town used to have one. I'm out of touch with it now, but what it was once a week, you met in some location with 20 or 30 people. It was usually at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And you would go around, and it was a great way to introduce yourself, right? So everybody in that room, you couldn't have competitors. So it was like 30 people, non-competitors. And you stood up and you gave your pitch, right? About your 30-second pitch, what you do, because there was always guests. And then you would give referrals, and they would actually have a referral slip that you would have to fill out. And this was not, oh, you should go talk to so-and-so because I'm pretty sure they need your business, or I heard through the grapevine that so-and-so is looking for. So this was, no, Meg, I talked to so-and-so about what you do. They need what you do. He's expecting your call. Here's his information. And then when you make that call, that person's like, oh, yep, I've been expecting this. That to me is a referral. An introduction is, hey, do you know so-and-so? And a lot of what's going on LinkedIn right now are asking for introductions. They're not going to get referrals because they don't have that deep of a relationship to be able to ask for it. That's what, and I know we're going to get into this, but it drives me absolutely crazy when reps hit me up all the time and say, hey, John, I see you're one connected to so-and-so. Could you make the introduction for me? The answer is absolutely not. No, because first of all, there's I'm connected to about 400,000 people. The amount of people that I actually know that I'm connected to on LinkedIn is like a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent. So the likelihood of me knowing the person that you want to connect with is very slim. The likelihood of me knowing you well enough to put my name on you is so much lower. And the people who ask for referrals from me typically show up on my phone and their name shows up. You know what I mean? Like, those are the people that I will give referrals to, but I might make an introduction for somebody just because it's easy. If they put in some effort and I see there's a connection to it, I might make that introduction. But putting my name on the line for you, somebody I don't know.
Let's talk about when to ask, because if you look at some of those results, you'll see it's kind of even. It's kind of spread out a little bit. I think the lowest one there being like, I don't know where to look. So let's talk a little bit about when to ask for a referral. Meg, this is where you shine.
Well, I am going to talk out of both sides of my mouth here. So I don't know if that's shining or not, but it is never too early, but it's also never too late. So hear me out on this. Let's talk about the first one. It's never too early to ask.
Yep.
So some of you may be saying, I think it could be a little too early to ask. How do you ask for referral if you don't even know the person? You're right. And you shouldn't if you don't know them. That is way too early to ask in the process. What I'm referring to is the use of assumptive statements. So let me give you an example. When I'm in a sales conversation with a prospect and we have passed the point of what I'll call our first discovery call. I'm say first because I'm a big believer that there's multiple discovery calls that happen throughout the sales cycle. But let's say we've had that first one. I've proven some value. They've we've found some meaningful content, there's some pain, all that kind of stuff that you'd be looking to do. I like to use an assumptive statement at that point. So one of my takeaways from the end of that meeting would be something like, so let's fast forward a couple of months from now, and your company is up and running with JB Sales, and we've implemented the training. One thing that would be really helpful for all of us, if we could just think ahead about other companies like yourself that might benefit from it. We're not there yet, I get it, but that would be really helpful for me as we kind of continue throughout the sales process, just so I can get better ideas of people that are in your network, all that kind of stuff. I'm not asking them right then and there for the referral. I'm planting a seed. All I'm saying is, hey, if this works out, like hopefully we can do more business together, and hopefully you want to tell your friends about us. That's all it is. So that's what I mean by it's never too early. Doing some assumptive statements, planting those seeds, leading your prospect to even want to say something positive about you, right? And then it's never too late. There's a little asterisk next to this one. It is a little too late if you've let a window go by and that person is no longer with that company, or that they've forgotten about you. It is never too late if you have consistently proven value. So even after, so AEs that are on this call, even after you've closed a deal, and I know that this is where we talk about process change, and I know you probably have a CS team or an AM team or something, there's still ways to keep your name, like your name, in front of that now client. And the reason that's so important is we want them calling you. We want them to say, hey, I got a buddy over here in another company, and I just talked to so-and-so over here, right? And they immediately introduce you via email. All right, but the way that you do that is by providing that value. So yes, it is never too late. You can continue to provide value, continue to put your name in front of them, and then ask later on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually think I'll throw something out there for the SDRs in the room. I don't think it's ever too early as long as you earn it. I'm going to put the big blanket over this of earn it. And it comes to relationship and value. And that doesn't mean that we have to have a long-standing relationship or I have to add a ton of value to this relationship in order to be able to earn it. You can ask for a referral on a cold call. So say you make a cold call, right? And you pick something and you take a really thoughtful approach. You're not pitching them on anything. You've done a little bit of homework on them. You have a real legit reason to have a conversation with somebody, and you earn the right to get that initial kind of qualification / discovery call where the person picks up the phone. If that is and you can feel it, like there's a little subjectivity to this. Like when you're vibing with that person, right? When you're sitting there and it's a good conversation, but at the end they're just like, look, I don't need what you have. I'll use this as a personal experience. I've had reps come after me with a really thoughtful cadence, right? Where it was super tailored and they got super creative. And after like the fifth or sixth time reaching out to me, I'm like, all right, I almost feel obligated to give this person a call just because I know the effort they put in, even though I don't really think I need whatever they are selling me, right? So I'll get them on the phone, and if they're not trying to pitch me or try to immediately qualify me and flip me, and they're just having a legit conversation with me, I have zero problem at the end of that conversation going, hey, look, I appreciate this. I gave you the call because I just wanted to because of your approach here. If they go, thanks, John, it doesn't look like you're a fit. Do you happen to know anybody else that fits this profile? I've done that plenty of times before. I do that at networking events where I meet somebody for the first time and we have a really good conversation and it doesn't look like there's a match here. I'll say to them, hey, I'm sure you're here to meet as many people as I am. Here's the type of profile I'm looking for. What are you looking for, by the way? Oh, that great. Well, look, as I walk around this room, if I find anybody that fits your profile, I'll point them in your direction. I think it all depends on how you use it. I think the channel is appropriate depending on how you approach it. Like if it's email, then you do your homework, you show you've done the homework. There's a reason to reach out to those people and there's some thought behind it. If it's phone, that's easier because it's a personal relationship. I think video is actually the best. If you don't get to meet somebody in person, but here's a way to do it. And this is how to leverage video with it is, do a little, video request. So instead of writing that email for the referral, do a genuine video that goes through email and just say, hey, James, I really love working with you guys. We're doing some great work together. My team's loving the chance to the opportunity. And obviously, as a way that we grow our business is finding companies like you who are similar, like-minded, have the same values and those type of things. So if there's any chance, anybody in your network that fits your profile and could leverage some of the stuff that we're doing here, I'd really appreciate it. That type of thing, like genuine, real, you've added value, you're looking for people like that, you're complimenting them about their values and their type of companies and those type of relationships, and you do that through video, I think that's probably one of the strongest ways to do it if you can't be in person.
That's good. Go ahead, Meg.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. I like phone. In person obviously would be amazing, but if my next would be phone. So I make it a part of, like for us, when I have a follow-up call after training and I'm back on the phone with key leaders and managers of a group, I make that actually part of my agenda that I send to them ahead of time and let them know I'm actually going to be asking them about it and asking them if there are other folks that they could introduce me to and that there'd be referrals. And then I have an example usually of 1 or 2 other companies that I would like to get into, and I bring it up on that call. So voice is really important for me, voice, video, that kind of thing. So I agree, John. Anytime you put a face to it, you can put a sound to it. It has to sound genuine. It should sound genuine if you're doing it right. And I think it's something to be said about seeing someone actually express themselves and asking for a referral. I think it's an important thing to do. So I'm all about that.
Yeah, I mean, Preston asked about commercial roofing sales. Like, this is an easy one, Preston. I mean, a lot of painting companies, they'll put their sign out and they'll give a discount if you could just put the sign out for advertising. It's the same thing, right? Whether you give them a discount or not, you can very simply say, which neighbor can I go talk to right now, and use your name. That's it. Like, you don't even ask for the referral, because now you get to go knock on that neighbor's door and say, hey, John Barrows right there, we just did his roof. And he said that, he was looking at your ugly roof. No, I'm kidding. But, you can, but that's a use my name. And this is kind of the stages here. There's use my name, there's the introduction, and then there's the referral.
So this is something I'm seeing happen more and more, just across the businesses that we work with and the companies that we work with. So for me, it's something relatively new. And what it is CEOs or, C-suite executives getting involved in the referral process post-sale. So let me walk you through that for a second. So it is entirely possible that 2 companies could be doing business together and the CEOs never spoke, right? Depending on, that's actually entirely possible. So, but what I have seen is an interesting twist is not every single one, but a cherry picked, maybe tier 1 type stuff accounts. The CEO will email the CEO of the other company and say, it's been great doing business with you and the team. They kept me up to date, blah, blah, blah. Hey, listen, we're always looking as leaders of our businesses, we're always looking for ways to expand our business. If there's ever anyone in your circle, any communities that you're in, any channels that you're in that would benefit from something that we do, please make sure to give them the name and here's the contact. Now you can take it 1 step further. And if there's a specific person that you think that person is going after, then yes, you could use it at that point in time. But why this is different is usually it's the AE or the CS person that's asking for the referral. It's not common that you're getting a higher level person asking for it. It's super uber personalized and relevant. And a lot of my clients have seen a lot of success with this as of late, because it opens up the floodgates also for either more business down the road, but also just that sticky factor. When 2 CEOs are connected like that, that's a really good thing.
John, how often do you reply to other CEOs that are reaching out to you? I feel like there's a simpatico thing there. It's like almost required that you connect with people that are like-minded.
Yeah, I mean, I will say I'm not as blanket with it. You still have to earn it. Just like I feel like I still have to earn it as a CEO. I would never just call randomly into another CEO that we did business with and be like, "What's up? Hey, did you know anybody else that we could do some
Super
business with?" Like,
cash.
I would never ever do that. I would look to build a relationship first. So, for instance, if I'm trying to help out Meg just did some training on a client that went really, really well. I actually think it's important in some cases for me to reach out to that C-level executive and just say, hey, first of all, I just want to say thank you. Your team has been absolutely fantastic to work with. Meg's told me unbelievable things. Really here at JB Sales, we look to attract companies that fit this profile of values and really doing sales the right way and taking a really good approach. And we're not quantity, we're quality. And we look to build it. So A, what can I do for you? How can I help your business outside of the additional, training that we're going to do for you? So you always want to lead with what I can offer. And then, oh, by the way, do you happen to know anybody else that fits a similar profile? And going back to, this is exactly the profile we're looking for and why it marries your profile. So it's going to be easy for them to see that, right? Because everybody knows the companies that they work with that share their values, and everybody knows the companies that don't. And so if you've heard me talk over the past year and a half or 2 years, like, I am so dialed in on values, it's off the charts. If you and I have the same values, if our organizations share the same philosophy around sales, around doing business, around treating people right and all that stuff, I want to connect with you. I want to develop a relationship with that CEO. I just had a conversation this morning. I said, hey, how does values, and I did a post on how do values and the why get you through, what companies got through. And this guy came on, somebody referred me to him, and I got on the phone for 30 minutes and he told me this story about how their company stayed true to their why and their values all the way through COVID. And it was one of the most, I got tingles, just listening to the guy. And now I have a relationship with him. And by the way, I didn't ask him for anything other than 30 minutes of his time. And I offered a whole bunch in return to say, thank you very much for your time. And now I have a connection with the CEO of a $20 billion organization.
Woo. Meg has some examples here. We told you that we were going to give you some templates. This is that moment. So pay attention. Meg, these are actual emails that you've sent to people to ask for referrals, are they not?
They are, in fact, yes, absolutely. They're very small on my screen, so I can't read them all that well, but good thing I wrote them, so I know what they say. So the first one that you're looking at is a simple follow-up email where I am reminding my customer that this is what they agreed to, right? From a referral perspective. So this goes back to if you are getting ghosted, you have to hold your customer accountable for what it is that they said they would do. And this particular email does that. It's very clear, it's concise, it states what you asked, and it does what you said it would do, right? So that is one. Feel free to use that, make it your own. Always use the names and company names of the people that you're looking to get in touch with. Do not refer to them as sort of random people. You've got to be super specific and use that template. The second one is one that I use now. This is a little bit longer. So this is if I've tried to reach the customer by phone and I left them a message. This is the follow-up to that. So this is a little bit of like a contact strategy in asking for a referral. Now you're going to notice towards the bottom half, I am specific with the person that I want the connection to, but you'll see I ask them if they know that person. I don't make that assumption. I ask them first. And then what you'll also see is I say, I'm more than happy to provide you with talking points and information if that would help you. So I'm basically saying, I will do this all for you if you know this person. But don't, as John would say, don't just say, hey, can you introduce me to so-and-so? I ask first, because to what we've been talking about, they would not know them from a hole in the wall. If they responded, and this is a follow-up, if they responded and said, oh, no, I don't know that person, that's when I would respond with, no problem, got it. Here's that one sheet. And that's when I would go through exactly who we typically do business with, what we're looking for. And I would start the education process with that person around who they might be able to refer me into.